Hello, Mother Rising group. I'm here. Only 5 minutes late, which is not too bad for me, actually. Yes, I will wait for people to jump on so no one misses anything. Here's Annette. Hi, Annette. All right. Oh, the people are coming. Oh. Hello, Kirsten. Oh, I'm actually a bit emotional. Oh, God, that's a good start, isn't it? People come on and I'm crying. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, it's probably not going to be the first time either. Oh, hi, everybody. Hello, hello. Hi, Tara. Oh, this is so exciting, Christina. Hello. Oh, so good. So I'm just going to wait a few minutes for people to jump on. So if anyone, please say hi when you're here. It makes me excited. And maybe, the more people, the more energy. It's so good. I actually got nervous when I pressed, go live. All of a sudden I had this massive wave of nervousness. So that's always fun, isn't it? But usually that's a good sign. Hi, Carol. Yes. Oh, my sister. Oh, shit, now I'm emotional about that. Oh, goodness. Oh, this is exciting. This is ridiculous, but I'm so proud of Carly for putting together like a group like this, because it's so needed and it's very exciting. Oh, hi Carly, I'm just talking about you. I'm crying in the first 20 seconds of my live. Because people it's just so exciting. This is like a, free event that's so many amazing presenters. All right, and for those of you who know the soul modes, which is what Carly will be presenting. Ames, why are you making me so upset? This is ridiculous. But I'm actually in bear mode, which is a difficult energy to do a something like this in, but all is as it's always supposed to be. And I think it means that we're really going to be getting into like some really core stuff, which is exciting, because this is all about, how amazing that you jump onto a workshop that's all about ignite your spark, feel amazing, and the presenter's actually crying. What a great start. But I think the whole thing is like what we are going to talk about is why we have lost our spark in the first place, because that's that's a huge issue for so many of us, mums or not, but especially mums. Some of that is some quite emotional stuff. So, me being in like the bear cave and in the inner world, sort of like the underworld a little bit at the moment, the message is going to come from there. So it's actually going to be some really good stuff. Yep. But it means that, I might cry at the start of a fucking live stream. But all is well. All is well. All right. So we have a few people online. So this is exciting. And once I just start my glasses from fogging up, let's start. So this is an interactive situation. So if anyone has, thoughts or questions or, thanks, Carly, or, what I say resonates with you, or you want me to expand a little bit more, because I do have a tendency to jump around a little bit. So if you want me to expand more on anything, please just put it in the comments. I will see it. If I haven't seen it, write it again. I hope you enjoy and that this gives you something that you need at this point in time. Who knows, hey? Who knows even what's going to happen? All right, so ignite your spark. So the big question that we have to ask first is, where has the spark gone? Why are we all not naturally like already, we're born alive. We're born, with this, this energy that as children we have so much energy. It's just like that natural childlike joy that is, so heartwarming to see in kids. Where does that go? And there's obviously like lots and lots and lots of reasons that we could answer for that, but I see so I should introduce myself also. So I am a qualified naturopath, and I've been in practice for 10 years now, which seems ridiculous to say, but yeah, 10 years. And over those years, I have obviously seen, hundreds of clients. And as time has evolved, you see certain patterns, you see certain themes and patterns come in and present. And I have, in my own evolution as a human, have done heaps of, inner growth work and healing and letting go of like limiting beliefs and all that sort of stuff. And then that helped me to grow as a naturopath into sort of what I have just made up a term that is intuitive naturopath, because it's more than just diet and exercise and even more than herbal medicine. So as magic as the plant healing qualities are, what makes a healthy, happy human is more than just those parameters. And so I started exploring like the emotional realms, gee whiz, like it goes into so many things about how we relate with each other, things that happen to us in childhood, how that forms certain belief patterns that we have, and how that then influences our perception of our world as well. So yes, heaps of juicy, amazing stuff. And so that's what I do. And yeah, so then Kirsten is also a naturopath. She's going yes, and she's also an intuitive naturopath too. So this is we are the new wave of the future. Also I have a giant ego, so here I am saying we are the new wave of the future. I mean, other people are doing it too, right? But it's you and me, Kirsten. And so I get to see, so in my clinic practice, I do one-on-one stuff, like that's my main gist at the moment. Moving into group offerings because of actually just seeing the same pattern over and over again. Like there's lots of, and when you see the same thing, or you find, you see the same people coming in that are experiencing the same feelings, like who am I, what am I doing, it's so hard to feel good, all that sort of stuff. And Christina too, yes, she's in naturopath. You see the same things, you start to think, hang on, there's something really going on here. There's actually like a collective there's a collective theme that's happening here. And so one of the big ones of that is loss of connection to self. So that is hence my topic of Ignite Your Spark, because that's the end outcome of what we're doing. But a lot of what we will discuss is actually how we have, as a collective, really lost who we are and lost our connection of, to ourself, which means life is harder. Life feels harder. It's like a struggle. It's like you're trying to swim upstream against the current. So that's how you lose your spark, because it's really fucking hard to swim upstream. Unless you're an Olympic swimmer, but like that's a different category. I don't know if there's, please put your hand up if you are an Olympic swimmer, but prob's not. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I see it all the time, and I especially, so in women, definitely. It's not exclusive to women, but it sort of is like is it a pyramid? Or like an upside down pyramid, so like a triangle, where all humans will experience this, but I definitely see the epidemic at the moment is women. So, that's like that next layer up. And then a high percentage of mums. So I think as far as I can see, it's mums, it's women, because if we could go on for hours about suppression, oppression, and we're just coming back into our power, which I'm writing a book about, so please stay tuned for that. But with mums, it's even more magnified because of the what's asked of mums and the deep cellular drive to take care of others. Which needs to be, so Kaylee's just said it, because we put everyone else before us. So, and that is like a biological drive. So that is, we already have, like, as women in this current modern society, we already have a bit of a baseline where we have lost our sense of, like, to be selfish is like a dirty word. So, and we've been a bit submissive and all of these things. And there's a whole, historical eons of reasons why we ended up here. But, it's time we're turning that around. But we're turning it around from a grounded perspective. So we're not going to get all heady with our power. We've got to come right from our womb space, our energetic womb space, and our power has to come from there. Anyway, that also is another topic. But, so putting everyone already coming from a baseline of maybe not being super connected to ourselves, because who teaches us that? It's rare that someone is teaching us that at the moment. And, because if we look at even like our mums and our mums' mums, how connected to their pure energy source were they? They're children of, women who went through the war and depression and all that sort of thing. That's survival mode. So like our sort of generation now are probably one of the first generations that actually get to move out of survival mode and know we can heal and start thriving. And that is very, very exciting and very cool, because then what happens is when the women are thriving, everyone around us benefits, because that is the power that we hold. Our kids are born with less healing inner wounds and less healing to do, so they start to thrive and reach their soul purpose quicker. And the men, if we are as a strong sort of like grounded, centered, we don't have to be perfect, it's not about that, but grounded, centered presence, the men get to feel into their power too. So we actually bring our men to life, whether it's our lovers or our sons or whatever. They get to feel their own stuff too. So it's how we heal the world, like legit. Well, that's already tangent number 1, but I think that's all part of it. So that's how, yes, connection to self and mums, that's right. And so we're already starting off with women, and then when you have a child, I think getting torn apart, the very energetic fabric of you is supposed to be stretched, because you've made a human in your own body and that sort of thing. And even if it's just, you actually, to be honest, you don't have to make the human in your own body. Say you adopt or you become a step parent and you didn't actually birth that child, or you didn't gestate that child, you are still getting stretched to transform into a whole new version of yourself. So so what I'm wanting to share today is what to do on the other side of that, because unless you've sort of actively worked to come back, we can really feel like we've lost who we are. And when we lose who we are, it's literally like you've left the tap on energetically, and your essence of who you are, and your essence is what brings you to life, is just draining out, and you don't even know that that's happening. And I see lots of women who come into my clinic, and they're just energetically, they're just a shell of who they could actually be and who they desire to be. And obviously that's why they come in. They've made the connection of going, no, this isn't how I want to live my life anymore. And it's not always because they're physically unwell. I hardly get really anyone, it's rare when I get someone coming in for a pure physical condition anymore into the clinic. That's because that's who I'm calling in. But it doesn't have to manifest into a physical illness. It's sometimes women now are just catching it earlier and being like, I'm not feeling right. This isn't how I want to live my life. So, Yes, so we get to work on that. So, yes, that is a little bit on how we are losing our connection to self. It's obviously like a giant... Hi Taz, my sister-in-law is here now too. Oh, it's so exciting. Oh, stop it, I'm going to cry again. Oh. It's just a beautiful sisterhood thing too, you know, like of us as a collection of women like doing this together, and that's what part of this whole group is too, and it's very special. Once again, thank you, Carly, for having the vision to put it all together. So, all right. Yes, hopefully that is making sense to people. If you're resonating, love heart shower, and I will probably start, before I start moving to like the things that we can do to bring the connection back, I will also talk about, you know, the importance of, I won't go super deep into it because there's other people doing presentations as well, but part of losing our connection to self is with, even with like, sensuality and sexuality and all that sort of stuff is a big area of with women, of let alone mothers, because that then just goes, I see that it goes just next level for a lot of mums, and they get very, you know, the fine line between like even like, you know, breasts and your body and body changes, but even without body changes, just a sense of like your connection to your sexual self gets distorted, and we've got to work to come back to that, because that is part of your life essence as well. And that is not actually even like having sex, it's just feeling sensual, feeling alive through your physical body, and then emotional and all that sort of stuff. So that's like another huge area of where we lose our sense of self and our essence and our spark. All right, so I'm just going to check my little list. Yes, so I have this, I wrote a few things down, just in case, because I have a tendency to go on massive tangents and then like, you know, end up in a whole nother state, let alone a different town. So I'll just check this. Oh, so before we get into how to bring it all back, or some tips on how to bring it all back, is... so, you know, there's going to be some really tangible things here, but it's also maybe going to hopefully just spark a little bit of an idea of a path that you could follow for yourself as well, because the journey is different for everybody. Yeah, and you'll get a gist of that when I start sort of working on some of the key things to bring back in, to connect in. But one of the main things that I really, really love about like reconnecting to yourself and getting to know who you are in this new, you know, phase of your life, and whatever that phase is. Like today is a new phase of your life compared to yesterday too. You know, we're always energetically and emotionally shifting and changing and moving towards you know, our future desired self. But when you getting to know yourself, and the journey of that is such a gift. And it really can change your life. It changes your life because of not only how you feel, but you know, when you get to know yourself, you get to know your boundaries as well, and you get to know what's good for you and what's no longer good for you, and you get to feel your yes and really strongly know your no. And they're things that are not at this point in time usually are not inherent in us as especially as women. I think we've got a lot of room to go to really strengthen those skills of the boundaries. And this year, numerologically, well, that was not how you say that word. This year has been one that for the collective has been on building boundaries and strengthening boundaries. So you might consciously know that in your life, or you can think back and be, you might think back to maybe some difficult times of this year where you had to say all of, you had to, it was tumultuous, but you had to say, no, I am not okay with that. I am not okay with that. And that's where you were starting to learn your boundaries. So when we get tested, it's where we get to really feel within that this is, I'm not okay with that. And that's what a boundary is. Boundaries are amazing. That's a whole topic on itself. And I really am working on being able to put together like a talk or something where we can talk about the boundaries and learn our boundaries, because that literally changes your whole life. It's so good. I just don't know how to do it. So anyway, the download may happen right here on this live stream. Who knows? All right, and then when we are connected into ourselves and feeling our essence, and when living from our essence, joy is easier to connect to. Laughter comes more freely. Love comes more freely, all sorts of things. And the difficult times, they still come. Yeah, do not get me wrong, they are still coming right at you, but they are more manageable, they rock you less, and it's easier to come back to who you are the other side of them. So that's all a really beneficial side effect of connecting into yourself again. Oh, Carly says nourishing the mother will be digging into boundaries. Perfect. All right, get on board that one as well. So good. I'm going to make sure I listen to that too. All right, so, Carly, if you're going to be here the whole time, could you give me a time check? Because I've just realised I can't see the time. Like if I'm getting close to like 45 or an hour, like I know that's down the track. But just as I say that, because I have no knowledge of time. If it starts to get dark outside, that's the only thing I'll realise. All right, so I'll check my notes. If anyone has any feedback or, thanks Carly, any feedback or insight into this so far, please send it through while I read my notes. All right. Okay, changing track. How can we... I love this one in Bama. Oh, so cute. But, and this is how I have to... So whoever doesn't know about the soul modes, please watch Carly's talk when she does hers. They are really, really useful. And so this is going to probably... some of you may cast judgment on me as a 38-year-old woman from what I'm about to show you, but Carly will, and anyone who knows it, I'm literally hugging a teddy while I do this because I'm in the bear mode and I need the comfort of it. So this is like I'm a nearly 40-year-old woman and I'm hugging a teddy. But the teddy has meaning. It was given to me when I had my ACL reconstruction surgery last year. And that was the first surgery I had, and I was like terrified. And when I came out of it, I was in, first of all, my sister will attest to this. I actually came out like suspicious as fuck. I was like, what are you not telling me? What are you not telling me? What are you not telling me? But then after that, I was, I was lying there by myself, cuddling my teddy at night in my, the sexy gown. And I was hugging the teddy, and I just said to myself, you are literally the bravest person that's ever lived. You are so brave, so brave. And so now the teddy is like I've imprinted that into my teddy. So that's why he's here with me today. All right. Okay. So back to less on my story. All right, back to how we can start to look at getting back in touch with our self to bring through our essence and bring our spark back to life. And then you benefit from your spark, your kids benefit from your spark, your friends benefit from your spark, your partner benefits from your spark. The plants that you pass by in the day benefit from your spark. It's just the best thing. All right. So the first thing that I would recommend for people is to sit. I don't know how you can choose to do it however you want, but to gain awareness of where you're at like to almost like sit still and just like scan your mind through your day and your life and the things that you do, and sort of go, okay, well, I'm going to take stock of where I'm at. So to gain awareness of the areas that are maybe not working for you, to gain awareness of where your energy is being used in a way that maybe is not good for you. So are you doing a lot of things for other people? So check in with that, because, we're sort of taught, be a kind human. Well, be kind to yourself first, and then your kindness will naturally exude to other people, So, and we've got, the people like the people pleasing. We've got don't put yourself first, and there's so many reasons why that exists. It can be anxiety within yourself. It can be the connection to the love that you have for yourself. I just spat on my paper. So heaps of storylines that can be driving that, but just so with no judgment towards yourself, just start gaining awareness and going, okay, all right, well, this is where my life is at. This is what I do each day. All right, how do I feel about that? Does that make me feel good? Does that not make me feel good? And if it's like, well, that doesn't make me feel good, then that's it. Beautiful awareness. You don't have to fully understand it. The guilt cycle, Kat, huge. Mama guilt, huge. So with that, if you know that that's a big drive for you, have awareness of it, no judgment on yourself, but just go, okay, well, that is something that I feel is maybe, I could maybe up level from that. It's not useful for you. Your kids don't need that. Your kids don't need you parenting from guilt cycle. That's not the ultimate. It's not wrong. Nothing is wrong, but is that the ultimate way? Is that the best use of your energy? With the awareness, that's where you ask yourself, is this the best use of my energy? Another really big awareness one is to check in with yourself is, am I rushing? Where am I rushing? What am I rushing for? What am I rushing to? And then the big question is, what am I rushing from? So that's a huge one. So a lot of it at this stage of our lives will just be actually just practiced. So when we start to, look, I haven't done a demographic analysis of who is in this group, but I'm tipping it's sort of like, I'm tipping it's women between 25 and above. So I'm thinking that, we're going to be, the major will probably be in our 30s, I would say. And so in that phase, it's usually just habit now. The driving forces that they still might be active, but a lot of it will be habit. So you get to stop, check in with yourself, check in with your life, and say, actually, I'm going to practice being the other way. I'm going to, because we get what we practice, we get very good at, right? So now you're just practiced rushing. So now you get to actually practice slowing down. So I would literally, so this was a huge one for me. And I'm not even a mum. I haven't even had my babies yet. I was just a psycho human. And I was like, I would rush washing my hair. Like, what am I rushing for that for? Even if I didn't have anything to do, it was just a practice. And I would rush. I would walk so quick between things. You don't need to. So actually actively practice slowing down, and that will help the clarity for all the other stuff coming in. And so who am I doing things for? Am I rushing? Is this the best use of my energy? And also, like, when you sort of start doing those, another one to gain the awareness is, what do I want from my life? So we are the creators of our life. So we might as well, so we're creating our life, whether we think about it or not. So I'm pretty sure it's a better option to create from a conscious place. So you get to do that. The power is already yours. You're already doing it. But at the moment, until we start consciously calling in the things that we want and saying, hey, actually, this is what I want. What am I doing this for? This is not a good use of my energy. This is how I want to use my energy. This is what I want my life to look like. Until we start consciously doing that, it's all just going to happen unconsciously. But still use our energy and use more of our energy. So it's sort of like a no-brainer. Win-win-win if we start to say, all right, well, this is what I want from my life. And then we can talk about how you do that in a minute. All right, so that's the awareness. Kaylee. Oh, time. Yeah, see, Kaylee. Yeah, because your dad used to put time limits on your showers. Yeah. So, yeah, you can probably change that. And even if for some reason, like, yeah, your dad was still living with you, like, it's time to not rush those showers anymore. All right. Oh, Kaylee, there's always a reason why we do the things we do. But now what we're doing is we're going to like look at that and check in with that and be like, is this serving me? Is this the best use of my energy? So good. All right, then, so the awareness is the awareness. All right, so that's like just how you can practice this. Then a big point I am going to drive home, and that there is no way getting around this. It is your responsibility to make yourself happy. It is your responsibility to make yourself energized. It is your responsibility to not do things for others that aren't serving you. Even if, and I totally get this, even if it's like they're making me do this, or they make me feel bad, or, you know, they're really needy, you are responsible for the things you do. All right. So if that is a little bit triggering, then I feel you, and I am also wrapped in a love way, because then that means that's a huge area of growth that you get to look at. It's amazing. That's the boundaries thing. Yeah. So very, very good. So it is your responsibility. If you have a low libido, that is not your partner's fault. That is, of course, there needs to be like a respect, and, you know, if your partner's a dick, then your partner's a dick, and you should maybe like think about that. But it's not someone else's fault. You are responsible for your own life, which is amazing. That's not a weight. That's a beautiful, amazing thing, because then you are responsible. So you are in control, and you get to do the things. All right. And it's so, so empowering. And that's how you really, really change your life. Okay. So that's like awareness, responsibility. And then from that place, we get to tap into your true desires. So that's when the energy starts coming back, right? When you start even just thinking about, nothing in your external world will have changed, but you sort of have, with the awareness and the responsibility, you've arrived back at yourself. Okay. So when you've arrived back at yourself, you're like, first of all, it's like, oh, hey, how you doing? Nice to see you here again. And because it is nice to see you here again. And it's like, all right, well, what do we want? What do we want? So that's when you really start calling in, what do I want my life to look like? Now, the key thing for that is you got to know why. And you got to know how it's going to feel. You got to connect to how it's going to make you feel. So if there's like, what's a dream? All right, so if you want to like dream as big, but know your why. So if you want to win the lottery, right? If you think that, if you feel that winning the lottery will change your life, why? Because there's financial stress, sure. So yeah, financial stress is huge and plays a huge part in like making us feel unsafe and all that sort of stuff. But if it's just like, oh, because then money will fix it, money won't fix it. You got to connect into why. Like, how will not having this stress make me feel? How will, so you also have to, yes, you have to take responsibility for your dreams as well. You have to take responsibility and know how they will change your life, why that is desirable, and how that will make you feel. So if you want to be a princess, you're like, oh my God, I want to be a princess. Why? Why do you want to be a princess? How will that make you feel? Are you prepared for the whole thing that comes along with that as well? So getting really clear on your why. Dream as big as you want. Even this, that you could start dreaming as small as you want as well. Like, it's like, I truly desire to I don't know why this is coming to my head. I was just taking my time to try and think of another one. I truly desire to get out of the bed and put my left foot on the ground first. I do not know why that is what came into my head. So it's like a small thing. Then it's like, all right, great. That's going to make me feel like I am in charge of each step I take. Then you do that. Oh. There is some reason why that has come through as the example. So hopefully that resonates with somebody. All right, then what you do, this sounds like it's a really linear process. Of course, it's totally not. It's all ebbs and flows, but these are the key things to keep coming back to, is to make a plan. You've connected to yourself. You've arrived back at yourself. You're aware of where your energy, as much as you can be until you layer through. You're aware of your energy, and you know that you are responsible for all of this. You're connecting to a few desires that will make you feel really, really good. Now you make a little bit of a plan. It's okay, well, here is my desire. Here is current situation. What's one small little thing that I can do? Or unless you're at the place in your life where it's like time to go big, sure, come see me. We can do that. It's like, how am I going to get there? What do I need to change to get there? A lot of it's going to be, some things are like external that you'll need to change, but a lot of it will come from internal. And then so have a little bit of a plan for that. So you've got to sort of stick to it and commit to this, to commit to connecting to yourself, commit to your energy usage, commit to being responsible to call in things to your life that make you happy. And commit, a really beautiful one can be like in the slowing down, in the slowing down, to just know that you can just sit on the ground with your kids, not having to do anything, and just being with them, just being present with them, is such a thing where when you can really truly do that, so much of the other stuff just drops away, and you are present with yourself and present with your tiny humans that you are guiding through life. It's a very, very, when you start to practice that is a very powerful connection. All right, and then a big one is of how we keep the connection to self active and keep our spark active and keep that sort of like that energy flowing, is calling in pleasure to our life. Now that is one thing that almost faster than any other energy tap being on, if we're not experiencing and open to receiving pleasure in our life, we're going to dry up. On the inside, we're going to dry up. Not only our vaginas, but all of our essence will dry right up. So, nobody really wants a dry vagina, right? No. So, pleasure doesn't mean sexual. Pleasure sex and sensual pleasure is part of it, but pleasure can be looking at the beauty in a flower and like feeling it, like letting how beautiful that flower is come into your being. It can be like touch is such a pleasure receptor, like different fabrics, like, I've got a cushion here that has different fabrics, and actually spending time feeling those different fabrics, that is actually pleasure. It's small little pleasures. It sparks something in us energetically that gives us energy and gives us spark and gives us like energy flow. So this energy flow is feminine energy. So we are, that's a whole nother massive topic, but we as humans, doesn't matter about your gender, but you have both masculine and feminine energy forces, and to have them in balance is sort of the ultimate. And the masculine is like structure, linear action, that sort of thing. The feminine is more flow, and the feminine is what gives life to the masculine. So as a structure, as a human like being structure, to bring that to life is the feminine energy, and that's the essence. And so pleasure is how you bring her to life. Hearing your desires and acting on them is more masculine, but connecting to your desires and what brings you joy is feminine energy. Loving your body is feminine energy. So that's another, I've sort of jumped ahead a little bit, but that's another big one on having your spark being reactivated is connecting into your physical body as well. You know, all the different parts, all the parts like that pinky toe, like what a freaking amazing toe that is. And, you know, your lips and your breasts and your tummy and your bum and your knees, all the parts, like connecting in, like be present in all of your body parts. That keeps the spark and your energy going. That's huge, and that's a huge topic. It's a huge topic for women. It's a huge topic for mums. So, you know, if there's some room to grow for you there, like, you know, follow that path. Like do some connecting work and some reframing subconscious belief patterns about yourself in there as well. And touch yourself in sexually, sure, but like even before that, just touch yourself with tender care. So, you know, even recently I've done like heaps of work in this area myself, but so skin for me has been you know, a big thing through my life. And even as recently as like, you know, last month, I've realized when I'm washing my face, I'm doing it like a little bit aggressively. Like settle down. And I've recently just been doing it more like sensually is the word I use, but just slowly and lovingly. So I had a facial, and after the facial the clarity came right in. I was like, it's so beautiful that it's just a beautiful, slow, non-aggressive way to touch your face. And even that, like I can see my skin loving that. So imagine the whole rest of your body, instead of being mean to her, like if we're actually showing tender, loving care, that brings forth our natural energy flowing. And so all of these start to head us in the direction of just having it naturally through our body. Yeah, so good. Annette, yeah, I know. What's going on with that? All right, so, and being present, so that's part of feminine energy too, is being present and just being rather than doing. And so just practicing presence with ourselves and then just in our life is then our energy, because the thing is, the life force and our spark and our energy and our essence, whatever we want the term, probably quite interchangeable, it is actually our natural state. So we've just sometimes got to get out of the way of blocking the natural state. It's like a river. A river just not only knows how to flow, right? And you can have blockages in it, like you can put like a tree or whatever, or even a dam. Dams might be different. Anyway, a river, like say you put a wall in a river, it will still always try to flow and it will find a little way, but you remove that wall or that block and it naturally just keeps on going. And that's what happens. So if we just practice getting out of the way of our essence, we connect into it, and then our action and points go to getting out of its way, it can really start exponentially growing itself as well. Growing, wrong word, you get what I mean though. And so practicing just being in our life, it actually fills our power source up. And that's when we are like most powerful as women, in that state. So finding pleasure in the everyday, being present, connecting into your body, your physical body and all of her parts. Because she's the vehicle you get around in. Like, it's pretty important. Yeah. And self-appreciation. Let's say that actually instead of self-love. Because that's a bit bandied about and it can mean, oh yeah, I've had a bath, so that's really cool. Which actually baths are great, but so just practicing self-appreciation is part of keeping connected into yourself and the energy flowing from there. And yeah, so that is sort of Carly, she's a beautiful. I'm loving your little snippets there, Carly. Thank you for doing that. Okay, so that was all that I had written down to talk about. So let me just feel into if there's anything more that wants to be discussed. So please let me know how this is sitting with you. So let me know if this has answered questions that you had coming in. Let me know if this has left anything unanswered for you at this point, while I sit in and feel into if there's anything else. I haven't really done a big summary, so there's something still open-ended. And just know that you've got this, like it's all in there. You might have to like unpack a little bit of, you know, some wiring and of how things are, but really it's you've got it. It's all in there. Michelle, I'm going to wash my face more softly. You know, you come in thinking that, you know, it's going to be this amazing thing, but everyone is just taking away that we're going to wash our face more softly. Oh, that's the best. Yeah, so good. All right, so I think that at this point, unless people have more questions or want me to expand more on this, I think I'm done. So I have no idea of the time. I'm sure it must be pretty close to at least giving you some close to the time that I said that it was going to be. Yeah, touching yourself with care. And then with that, right, feel what comes up for you as well. So then that gives you some more insight into, you know, some areas that you can look at in your life as well. So remembering to first of all gain awareness of current life situation and current, you know, where you're at in yourself and your external world. And then connecting into that I am responsible for my own happiness. I am responsible. Only I can change how I feel. I am not responsible to other people. For moments, including your kids, right? Of course, when they're little, you must care for them and you must guide them, but you are responsible to yourself first, and then they benefit from that. So that's an important thing to remember too. You know, still obviously give them dinner and breakfast and wash the clothes if they're little, but you are responsible to yourself first, and you deserve that. And then you will get, I can see that people get a much more fulfilling experience from their parenting journey when they are connected to themselves. Yeah. Oh, Michelle says, I'm also going to enjoy the sunshine on my face. Yes, yes, yes. And also a big thing, well, that reminds me, get rain on your face too. That's like one of the most present things you can do. Get rain on your face. It's exciting. All right. I think that's it. Oh, I didn't finish summarizing my thing. So responsibility, tap into your desires because you are in charge of this. You call in how you want to feel. That's what you do. Ah, my little niece Maggie. Oh, so cute. Yeah, she's gonna be a little superstar, Ames. So exciting. Little baby. Now I can't stop thinking about her. Yes, and stay connected to your body, stay connected to yourself. All right, I'm going to just keep going over the same stuff now. So I have adored this. Yep, so teared up at the start, which is totally fine. And it did, like, it's actually was always supposed to be done in this bear mode state, because we pulled it out from the depths of the cave of ourselves and the behind the scenes of ourselves. All right. If anyone else, I'll sort of sit here awkwardly for a moment in case anyone has any questions. But also you can please keep doing the what's this? Commenting, especially if you're watching the replay. I am adopting Carly's hashtag after party. So instead of of course you can do hashtag replay, but also hashtag after party. How much more fun is that? And after parties are awesome. And that makes me want one now. Okay, I might be coming out of bear mode. And, oh, hi, Ray. Oh, that's all right. You can catch it. You can catch it and you get all of me from the start. Yes, I adored this. Thank you for everyone who's been on here and your interactions. I may have missed some comments, but I was sort of just a little bit in the zone. So I will go back and read if I missed anything and I'll answer that. And enjoy the rest of the sessions. There's still 11 sessions to go. There is some fan-fucking-tastic people. It is all for everyone to share in. I am so looking forward to the sessions as well. And yeah, love you. Mwah. Bye, everybody. Oh, also, first of all, I'm really shit at pressing finish all the times. I miss it. I need like a remote. But how about Teddy says goodbye too? All right, bye guys.